you'd be forgiven for thinking it was Christmas Eve.
For days, shoppers have been urged not to stockpile.
Store shelves nationwide are dwindling or totally empty, like at this Target near Washington, D.C.
So the world has been gone absolutely nuts recently, and almost overnight, $1 billion e-commerce opportunity has opened up. In this video, I want to dig deep into why this has happened and share with you 3 fascinating examples that I've found of people taking advantage of this. But most importantly, I really want to share with you why you shouldn't be focusing on this and instead exactly what you need to be working on right now. Before we jump in, make sure you hit that like button below to let me know that you enjoy this sort of content. And once you've done that, there's only one way that we can explain this. And that's by first slipping on something more appropriate. Perfect. Now we can jump into the science behind this fascinating phenomena. So tell me, how much would you pay for this bottle of water? The answer depends on if you're more like person A, who's just a regular citizen, civilian, walking around the street, has access to a lot of supermarkets, the supply of this water. They'd probably pay about $1 for this bottle of water. However, person B, they're out and they're running in the desert and there's no stores around and they're very thirsty. They're gonna wanna pay something like $100 for the same bottle of water. This is an example of how supply and demand can directly affect the price of a product in a free market. So in the same sense, to understand these 3 examples of people profiting in this new market, I wanna show you the supply and demand relationship of toilet paper at the moment. So let's plot a graph, a normal supply and demand graph, with the price on the left-hand side on the y-axis and the quantity on the x-axis on the bottom. Now to make it easy, we're gonna round up and say the normal price of 1 roll of toilet paper is $1. This is because this is the equilibrium between supply and demand. This is where the amount of toilet paper wanted by people is met by the supply of the companies who produce it. However, at the moment in these crazy times, people are wanting much more toilet paper. Therefore, the quantity desired of toilet paper rolls have increased, which has led to a radical shift in the demand curve. This creates a brand new equilibrium price point of $6 in a free market. However, here lies the opportunity. We don't actually live and operate in a free market. For example, someone like Walmart or any supermarket you shop at are legally obligated to maintain their prices. This is why Walmart and all the other supermarkets are out of stock, because their price is well below the real current value of a toilet paper roll. This has led to trend jumping opportunists such as this guy, who are taking advantage of the difference between where companies are legally allowed to sell their toilet paper for and the actual free market price of what people will really pay for them at this time. So have a look at this guy who is selling toilet paper on eBay. He's sold over 8,000 packs of toilet paper, and you can scroll through and see how many he sold in the last day alone. He has priced his toilet paper rolls at somewhere between where the supermarkets are legally mandated to price their products and the free market price. So he hasn't had a lot of backlash about price gouging because he's picked a sweet medium, but you notice he has still gone out of stock because he was priced under the free market price. This guy, however, who sold hand sanitizers, decided to price right at the free market equilibrium, and that caught him a lot of flack. If you don't know this story, he decided to take advantage of this short-term opportunity and buy 18,000 hand sanitizers, and he got a lot of flack from this because he priced it way too high and everyone said that he was price gouging, and he got left with 17,700 of these hand sanitizers, which he eventually donated to charity. And lastly, check out this sneaky boy who has recently listed on Amazon, dropped below the top 100 best sales rank, but is still selling their toilet paper for almost $40. And pay close attention to this over here. I'm about to teach you exactly what they're doing. So before I show you exactly step by step how people are taking advantage of this current opportunity, jumping on this trend and making a quick $10,000 to $20,000, and giving you the opportunity to, if you wanted to, follow them and make a quick buck for yourself, I want to make sure that you know at the end of this video, you need to stick around for, because I'm going to show you exactly why you should not be doing this, why I really deeply believe that you need to be focusing on something else. And I need you to stay around for that if you're thinking of jumping on a trend like this. So in order to make your quick buck off this opportunity, you have to realize that the supply of toilet paper is being rapidly increased to match the new demand. And in the case like toilet paper, where the resources aren't actually scarce, it's only going to be a couple of weeks before there's enough toilet paper back on the shelves and the equilibrium is going to come radically back down to where it was. So what these sneaky opportunists are out there doing is they're borrowing from the future, where the free market equilibrium is coming down and being priced back at $1, and they're selling their product now and drop shipping it with hidden 2 to 4 week shipping times. Put simply, this means that they can be selling it at today's current inflated market price, but be buying it in the future when the price comes right down. This brings me to the biggest reason why you should not be doing this and why you shouldn't be jumping on these trends, moral reasons aside. So the biggest reason why people struggle with entrepreneurship and in life in general, because they discredit the power of exponential. If you look at Warren Buffett's net worth over time, you can see how small the initial increases were, and then all of a sudden it starts skyrocketing and hockey sticking up to his current net worth of a ridiculous amount of money. This is the same for your business, whether you're doing e-commerce or something else. The more consistent work that you put in over a long period of time, the results are going to be compounding over and over again on top of themselves, and the results are going to be exponentially rewarding. So if you're like one of those people out there selling toilet paper on a trend, you're not going to be able to get rewarded with these exponential results from putting in consistent work over time, because the trend is going to be over before the exponential results kick in. And trust me, I've been stuck with my hand in the honey pot once before. Now, if that's not enough, let's lay over the amount of work that's required to set up something entrepreneurial like an e-commerce store. You'll see it's the opposite of the results. The work diminishes over time. Up front, the earliest time you get started, that's the biggest hurdles: finding your products, making your brand, mastering Amazon pay-per-click. These are the things that are difficult to do, and when you do it once, then you're done for the entire life cycle of that brand, and then the results will kick in at the later half of it. However, once again, if you're jumping from trend to trend, you will actually just be doing the most work out of these businesses over and over and over again. And therefore, if you're trying to make the most money for the amount of effort you're putting in, you need to focus on a long-term brand, one that you're passionate about, one that is going to be sustainable over time, and unlike trend products, one that's actually going to be valued at something that you can sell to somebody, and not that's going to be worth zero in a year from now. I've been in the e-commerce game for 14 years. I first started when I was 14 years old selling on eBay Australia, and I've come a long way since then. But what I really would have appreciated was to be able to watch this video, because way back when we started, we went from trend to trend to trend, product to product to product, put a lot of effort, a lot of time into these businesses, building them up, making graphics for them, making brands for them, hiring virtual assistants for them, and making sure everything runs smoothly, only to eventually be overrun by competition who come in and jump on this trend, jump on this temporary spike in demand, and we have nothing proprietary, we have nothing valuable to actually sell at the end of it, and sometimes we even got left with a whole lot of stock that we had to sell off for an extremely low price as the demand diminished. If you want to learn how to build a modern day sustainable brand and take advantage of ridiculous demand of e-commerce, make sure you check out the video we made up here. It's titled Why Amazon FBA Sucks. I'm going to show you exactly why it does suck, and then secretly, don't tell anyone, why it doesn't actually suck, and why there's hundreds of thousands of people making a living off this, and how you can do that too. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.